What's up, my friends? It is Spenny with Spill the Goods. It is good to see you. Thank you for being here. Did you just Google Break X2 Ikarao karaoke machine review? If you did, that's a lot of words. Also, you're in the right spot. Let's dive into the details. That's right, I am on a karaoke machine kick right now. Maybe it's just the holiday season. I just like reviewing karaoke machines because we have so much freaking fun with them all the time. Today, I'm gonna do an in-depth review of the Ikarao Break X2 karaoke machine. Let's get that karaoke machine up on the table right here, shall we? Here she is. Oof. She's gorgeous. I want to go through the in-depth details, answer any questions that you have about it, and then if you have more questions, leave them in the comments, please. I don't know if you've seen my other videos, but I do pretty good at responding to comments, you know? Let's dive into the machine. First, let's talk about the ports. The ports on this machine are just behind the black flap here. 2 auxiliary ports, 2 external microphone or guitar ports, an SD card port, a USB port, and an HDMI port. The biggest difference between this machine and the smaller Ikarao machine is that there are 2 external microphone ports, also where you can plug in a guitar. Hey-o! That's a little riffy-roo. Just for you. Playing the guitar with this thing is a blast. The last port that they have here is just underneath the bottom flap. This is your charging port. I love that this thing has an internal battery. The battery lasts a really long time. Now, to be frank, I haven't actually charged this thing to completely full and then tried to run it out of battery, but we've had long pool parties and this thing just doesn't run out of battery. As you all know, I think portability when it comes to karaoke machines is super important. I like them to be able to be taken wherever I am going. I don't want it to be a pain or a hassle. Let's talk about portability for a minute. These handles on the sides of the machine are fantastic. They're deep. It makes it really easy to carry this around. It's not too heavy. I love that it comes with this strap that is just built in. The strap is super high quality material. You can just sling it over your shoulder. The last thing I will mention with portability is the fact that the microphones are built into the machine. They just pop in and out of their little charging port. Built-in microphones is a game changer because then you can just put the microphones in, close the lid, and just go. You don't have to worry about having a separate bag for your microphones or anything like that. Portability, 10 out of 10. That's a pretty freaking good score right there. While we're talking about the external features of this machine, let me just go ahead and show you the buttons and knobs that you have right here on the front. You have this little brightness knob. This just kind of turns up and down the little disco light pattern that you have going on. A bass button, the power button, a Bluetooth button. This will automatically connect to any Bluetooth device that you have connected to it previously. It makes it really, really easy. A source button as well. The source button will just cycle through Bluetooth, auxiliary ports, or local play if you're using an SD card. The last knob you see here is the volume knob. I have to mention this, but these knobs are just so satisfying to use. The impressive thing that I have found with this Ikarao brand is they're so well built. All of the parts seem high quality and they just work perfectly. Inside the machine, you have 3 different knobs. You have a reverb knob, a treble knob, a bass knob. Buttons, you have mic settings, so you can kind of dive into your mic settings and make any tweaks or changes you want there. Music ducking. I don't know what that is. I gotta Google that. Music ducking is an audio effect that temporarily reduces the volume of one audio signal when another audio signal is present. So you know what this does? If you are using this as a speaker, say you're hosting a party or a wedding or something like that, you can have the music playing, but as soon as you start speaking into the microphone, it's going to automatically turn down the volume of the speaker or the music, and it'll isolate your voice. We'll test that a little bit later in the video so I can show you. Then you have these 5 different buttons here. Each of these buttons do different things. They all have to do with the microphone. One of the things that makes this machine so wonderful is that it has this built-in display. Now, the size of this is kind of right between an iPad mini and your regular iPad size or your bigger iPad size. I love also that you can turn it 360 degrees. If you're singing behind the machine for karaoke, you can tilt this, have it in front of you, and then when you're done, you can flip the screen back around. You can have this orientation wherever you want it to be. So cool! I've noticed sometimes it's one directional with a lot of karaoke machines, where this one, you can have this in any orientation, and it makes it very easy to see the lyrics if you're not just sitting right in front of the machine. Now that we're fully familiarized with the knobs and the buttons on this machine, let's go ahead and power it on so that you can see the display and I can show you some of the features there. I'm going to make a quick comment about this. The sound quality that comes from these Ikarao karaoke machines is so good. It's crisp, it's rich, it's full. All the wonderful things that you like from a good speaker. Plus, it's a karaoke machine. So on this display, here's what you have. Just built into the display, you have a media player. This is where you can search and manage all of your local music, videos. You have built-in YouTube. Then you have your media library. And then there's some made-for-you content here as well. Navigating it is really, really easy. You can click on the Sing app, which gets you to this main page. You have an app tab, and this is where you have all of the built-in apps with the machine. YouTube, Chrome, Spotify, Star Maker, Netflix. These are all built into the machine. I never watch Netflix on this, but hey, I could. If you hit the More button, you're going to see your screen mirroring options, file management, user manual, all of that. The bottom row just shows you some of your basic controls. You've got your auxiliary controls, Bluetooth control, connection to Wi-Fi. Yes, this connects to your Wi-Fi. This little star button allows you to change the lighting mode, whether you want it to be light, romantic. You also have volume controls on the bottom, and then music, microphone, and just a settings button so you can go through and detect any new version updates that you may have or do some kind of a factory reset. I mean, overall, navigation on this is very intuitive. It's easy to use. I love that there's a back button that shows up every time you enter a different application or go to a different place. That allows you to just back up one step. It's simple. Touchscreen is very responsive. It doesn't feel like some cheap version of a touchscreen. It actually works really, really well, and it responds to your finger. We have now arrived to one of my favorite parts of this machine, the microphones. Let me show you how those work. Obviously, I've already mentioned that they're built into this machine. So convenient. To get them out, all you do is push down on it with your finger, and it pops up. You'll notice on the bottom of the microphone, there's a little charging piece of metal. That piece of metal touches down, and when you push it back into the machine, it just begins charging. Very easy to use. All I have to do is push the power button. You hear it connect. Here you go. Microphone sounds like this regular. Let me move this forward. Turn up the volume on my own and turn down the volume. Really easy control. I mean, check this out. Let me turn the reverb down. There's not any delay between my voice and it coming out of the speaker. Let me come back up there. All right, I like that I can control the different vocal settings on this microphone by pushing the power button. So if I push the power button once, it just turns it into, sounds like a PA speaker. I push it again, I get some reverb. I'm dreaming of Hawaii. And now I get, whoa, sounds like I'm in an auditorium. Everyone take their seats, please. Take your seats, okay? I get this burning, I don't know what this is. The last two, I can sound like a chipmunk. Push it one more time. And then I sound like a monster. I sound like a monster, okay? To turn it off, all I do, push the power button, turns it off, and then I just push it back into the machine. So that is everything with the mics really that I need to dive into. This becomes a really cool performing tool. It becomes a PA system. It allows you to be able to use the machine for entertaining if you'd like to. The next thing I want to show you is the speaker itself. I know it's difficult. You're not in the same room as me, but I'm going to show you exactly what this sounds like. I'll do a little dance party with some royalty-free tunes. I know you guys love these. Don't lie to me. You love them. This speaker is super loud. Let's do it. That is exhausting every single time. That means I am getting older and wiser. All right, one of the things I did want to show you is the music ducking button. What this does is it gives the microphone priority. If I have music playing and I start speaking into the microphone, it's going to turn down the music to kind of an inaudible level. And then when I'm done speaking, it'll turn the music back up automatically. That just makes it so you don't have to fiddle with the volume button at all. All right, let's test it. So when I speak, it turns off the volume of the speaker. When I stop, it turns it right back up. That's sick. That is a really cool feature. I really like that because it makes it a system that you can actually just use as a PA system, and you don't have to ever fiddle with these knobs. You can just push music ducking and it'll quiet down the music when you start using the microphone. Dang cool. We have reached the spot where everyone is usually curious. Price. Okay, so the regular list price for this karaoke machine is $449.99. Now, I will admit that is pricey. However, think about what you're receiving. You are getting a built-in tablet. You are getting 2 wireless microphones as well as a speaker. When you calculate all 3 of those things in, it's a pretty good price. If you're looking for a high-quality karaoke machine that is super portable, easy to use, and really seamless in the way that it plays music, plus allows you to use microphones, this thing is freaking awesome. Oh yeah, and did I mention you can play the guitar with it? All right, my friends, let us go ahead and close the lid on this episode of Spill the Goods. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. We are going to continue to create incredible content that hopefully answers the questions that you have. Our goal is to make sure we answer all of your questions about specific products before you make a purchase. There's nothing worse than buying something thinking you're going to get what you want and it's not what you wanted at all. That's always a bummer. We want to prevent that. If you have any questions about this Ikarao Break X2, please leave those in the comments below. I'm very good at responding to comments there. I love to engage with you whenever I can. Again, we greatly appreciate you. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon.